Have you ever noticed that there's a difference between how society portrays a promiscuous man versus a promiscuous woman? That, my friend, is a double standard. The sexual double standard is defined as the belief that men and women are held to a different standard of sexual conduct. According to this sexual double standard, boys and men are rewarded and praised for heterosexual activities, whereas girls and women are stigmatized for the same exact behavior. We interviewed a variety of people to see what they think about the sexual double standard. But first, let's get the opinion of our group members.
I think that both men and women should be called out for their actions. I don't think that negative behavior that affects our society should be encouraged in either gender. So I think that both men and women should be held accountable for their actions.
Sexual double standards between men and women are unfair, especially towards women, because women are often judged and ridiculed for being into the same sexual activities that men are. And I don't think society should genderize promiscuity at all.
I think the sexual double standards are wrong, and I think it's a huge deviation in the way that men can behave when it comes to sexual affairs versus a woman, and I think that things should be more equal.
I've never heard a man who's promiscuous insulted, so I don't even think, do we even have words for it in English language? I don't think so.
Typically, it's like the words we use for women, but the word man in front of it, man whore, man thought,
yeah.
you know, it's just...
But I feel like when it's used, it's not used in a way to disparage him, right? It's like, maybe we'll use the word man whore, but we really mean, you know, all right, it's also kind of, you know, shows that you can kind of get a lot of girls or something like that, right?
I would most likely call him a man whore, but also comes to mind. Those are pretty much it.
What derogatory term would you use to describe a promiscuous man?
Slut.
I think a man can do the same kinds of things that a woman gets called a slut for, absolutely. I just don't think we think of him that way when he does those things. So, I mean, I guess if we're going to use the term, you know, make it, you know, gender neutral, absolutely he can be. We as a culture just don't think of him as being a slut, right? He then becomes sort of the man for doing that same stuff.
Yes, totally. I know very sluts.
Yeah, well, yeah, personally, yes, I do.
Well, the ways that I've heard them insulted, I wouldn't insult a promiscuous woman. I think that double standard of men being able to be promiscuous and women not is really problematic. But unfortunately, I've heard all kinds of words, right? Slut, whore, and all those kinds of things. And so, you know, I just think it's a pretty dangerous double standard.
Just the word slut. I don't think there's any other word I would use.
And how about a promiscuous woman?
Slut, and it's only fair.
What do I think of in terms of the word slut? Unfortunately, I feel like I have been socialized to think of a woman, and I hate that that's the case. But I think typically when we talk about, you know, when we use the term slut, we never use it towards a man who has multiple partners, right? We only use it towards a woman. So unfortunately, I feel like the vision in my head is that vision that sort of we have as a culture. Yeah.
I typically think of a person who has a lot of sex. With the word slut in particular, a woman might come to mind first, but I do think of men.
Well, since slut is often used in reference to sexual promiscuity, specifically among women, then a woman would come up. I personally think that the terminology being appended to women is definitely something that is fairly part of sexual double standard due to the fact that when women are sexually promiscuous, then it seems something that's negative as opposed to men being sexually promiscuous.